Craft Club, Craft Club. We're all gonna craft at Kevin's summer camp. Craft Club, you will craft and I will craft and we'll all craft because it's summer camp. Craft Club, summer camp, Craft Club. Oh, Scooby-Doo. Okay, sit there. Okay, so hello everybody. It's another beautiful day. Thank you for joining me for Craft Club all August. And we know why? Because I'm trying to monetize and get enough watch hours to monetize. But that does not mean that I am skimping on what I'm doing. I am enjoying this. I am giving story. I am giving art and crafts. This is fun. Comment if it's fun. Comment below if you're having a good time and if this is fun and if I should do it for Christmas, because I kind of want to do this for Christmas. I kind of want to do like maybe from Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving to Christmas, because Canadian Thanksgiving is like October 13th. That's like 2 months of it, although there is Vlogvember. But the thing is, if I'm not monetized by then, like I can't do long form content longer than 15 minutes. So I'm like, what's the point of Vlogvember kind of thing? But we'll continue. We'll just keep doing this. I'm gonna keep plugging because here's the thing, the news told me that TikTok is now, what is it? It's now changing to, and maybe by the time this comes out, maybe it'll change again, because remember when they almost took TikTok away? They almost took our TikTok away and then they gave it back. But I hear there's a sale and somebody's buying it only in America, and then they're gonna start their own thing called M. And again, this could be very old news at this point, very old news, and it may have changed, but it's changing to M. And because I have an American TikTok account, although I travel to Canada, sometimes I work, I'm a dual citizen, I don't know what's gonna happen because my TikTok, I was in Canada when the TikTok was turned off that weekend, remember? Remember when the TikTok CEO was like, dear president, please keep our TikTok on. And then the president was like, oh, okay, we'll keep it on. It's a bad impression. I'm not gonna do an accurate impression because I don't wanna be triggered. And then, so I don't know what's gonna happen because I don't know if I can download the American one if I'm in Canada or if I have to wait until I do some kind of trip back to America. If I cross the border, then I download the new one, which is called M supposedly, or maybe it's not that anymore. You know, I am pre-filming these, so I don't know what's happening. But now the only way to monetize my social medias is YouTube. So I'm kind of glad that I have been committing to YouTube, even though the growth is so slow, even though I had viral videos and was monetized back in the late aughts, early 2010s. Now I don't know. Now I'm trying to remonetize, I guess, and get enough watch hours and I'm glad that I'm committing to it, and I'm glad that I've been doing it because we may not have TikTok anymore, or I may not be able to contribute to my TikTok account unless I do have to cross the border if I get a job in America or whatever. Okay, listen, I'm gonna start painting. We are painting suncatchers, and I have decided to start with the penguin. I'm doing the penguin, giraffe, monkey, and then if there's the time, I'm gonna do the tiger, turtle, a lion. I feel like a kid being like, what are these? Crocodile and elephant. What are these animals, Kevin? I don't know. I am just trying to survive. I'm just trying to survive the changing of tech and the apocalypse, because here we are. I'm gonna put a little bit of water in here because I think we're gonna change things up. I'm gonna do the mouth first with the orange. Okay, let's do the orange. Let's see how nice this paint is. Can you see the table? Yes, I've pushed the camera back so you can see what I'm doing on the table, but it does mean that the camera is farther away from me and I cannot see you as much. Okay, it is very watery. Should I have mixed this first? Should I have mixed it? I don't know. What do you think? Okay. So it's a light color because, of course, I am about to put this in the window and then have the sun go through. So you don't want it to be too much. Okay. And so I am going to do, because there's no black. Wait, but did they have, one of them had a color mixer guide. It was like, you can mix this with this So then you can make a different color. I guess it's not this one. Okay, it's not this one. But what do you mix with what to get black out of these? Anyway, I'm gonna do the dark purple because that's the closest to black, and I like a purple. Do you remember this Disney book? I can't remember what it's called, but it's about this penguin that hates the cold, and so he gets onto his little ice floe. He brings his like stove and his little home, his little igloo, and he cuts off his little space, and he starts to float away, and he goes to warmer climates, and then he's suddenly happy. That's what I think of when I think of penguins, because I'm looking for not warmer climates, but I'm looking for my peace, as we know. This has been I've told so many stories during this. Oh, it splatters. Okay, this paint is really actually quite hard to work with, but it's splattering. Okay, I just want to dab it a little, get that little thing off. I knew I needed paper towels. It's wasteful, but sometimes you need paper towels. What's that, a motorcycle? I am continuing to be on the noisiest street ever. It continues to be noisy, but I am wearing a microphone, so hopefully you don't hear as much. But maybe you hear my my chair squeaking, or maybe it's the supernatural, which is the theme that I wanted to talk about while I do this, because sometimes when we go on holidays during summer camp, we tell ghost stories. Does anybody have any ghost stories? Do you believe in ghosts? I have said I have lost my spirituality recently. Like I was never raised religious, but I have lost spirituality recently because it just doesn't feel like, I just feel like if there was somebody like an entity in the sky watching over us, why is he letting all this happen? And not just personally, but just on a bigger scale. Why is he letting all this happen? So it's really hard for me to believe these things. And so I have lost that spirituality. But I remember the one ghost kind of story I have is when I was a child, I was still like, I would still run into my mom and dad's room when they were together pre-divorce. This was when I was really young. And I was trying to not sleep with them, not sleep on my own in my own room, right? But I kept on running and I was trying to be better, right? But then I remember there was one time where I was running to their room and suddenly there were three Asian, old style, the old style soap operas with the robes and the long whiskers, the Fu Manchu, and not weird. I should be culturally sensitive to my own culture, but the costume, crouching tiger, hidden dragon type thing, right? So I'm running to my parents' room, but I know that I shouldn't because I am learning to not go to their room anymore. And suddenly there's these three ghostly entities that are in these Asian garb. And now I would say I can't recall if I would know what that would look like too. You know what I mean? I'm raised in Canada, I am a dual citizen, but I'm raised in Canada, which is also it's not necessarily a culture where you constantly see Asian people in robes. You don't see that every day. So I feel like that's not something I could have made up in my mind. But I'm going to my mother's room and I suddenly see those three ghostly apparitions standing in my way, trying to stop me from going to my mother's room. And they weren't mean spirits. They were just like, now you can't go in, now you shouldn't do that. And I still push through them. I still push through them because I'm like, you know what? I need to see my parents. I'm not ready to sleep in my own room by myself. And that is like the one thing that I keep thinking about, because I had this theory before I kind of stopped believing in the rest. That, sorry, there's hot people out there. There's hot people out there. They are smoking though, so no, but there's hot, okay, so I'm distracted today, as you see. I had this theory when I believe more in spirituality that when you are younger, you are closer to the spiritual side, and as you get older, you get farther and farther away from it, which would still be true in my case, because I feel farther and farther away from it. And so when I was younger, it would make sense that I would be able to tune into the ghostly side, the spiritual, the spirit side more accurately than I could now. Because now I'm older and I feel further away from when I was born, when I was being created by whatever I was created by. But that is my theory. And those ghosts did not stop me though. But they weren't mean. I remember them being very like family, like, now you should not be going into that room. Do you all believe in ghosts? Do you have ghost stories? Is there like evidence in your mind that a ghost has happened, or that there is something from the afterlife out there? Because I want to know. Because I want to believe too. I am like the X-Files. I want to believe. I want to see the evidence, because of course, when I pass away, I don't want just nothing to be there. I want to have an idea that like there is a reason for life, etc. And that goes into ghosts. Because then if we have concrete evidence of ghosts, listen, then it exists and we can live in peace. I think actually like that is what religion is. When I look at people who are religious, I'm like, oh, it's almost like a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism of the idea of like, there is something, so if something goes bad in your life, you'll get another chance. As opposed to how I feel right now, which is like, I think it's just the legacy you leave behind. And then at the end of the day, at the end of our days, at the end of the planet exploding, or whatever the end of this time is on Earth and humanity's time, there will be nothing. There will just be like the extinction of humans, the extinction of the Earth. Like, so what I'm saying is eat that cupcake. That's why I'm gaining so much weight, because I'm like, just eat that cupcake, because at the end of it, nothing matters. At least that we bring peace to other people in the world right now, and we continue to like create community, I guess. I don't want community. Please leave me alone. I want online community, and I love you watching. Okay, here's my penguin. I only did 2 colors. Okay. I only did 2 colors, and you can see through it, and you can see the paint strokes. So this paint is not great, and that's fine. I'm trying to find the camera. Okay, there we go. And anyway, the next episode I will paint faster. I will paint the giraffe and the monkey, and maybe the tiger, because that's orange, and I do like the orange. I like orange. Orange was my favorite color growing up. I just think it's a color that's underrated. People do not like it as much as they should, but I'm gonna do maybe the tiger as well. I'm convinced. At the beginning I was like, he was last. Now the elephant is last, because I also don't have gray. So I'd have to make, a purple or pink or what, well, there's not even pink. What I'm saying is this episode is over. I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow on the next episode of Craft Club. We're all gonna craft at Kevin's summer camp. Craft Club. You will craft and I will craft, and we'll all craft because it's summer camp. Craft Club.